Hey everybody, welcome back to LegitStreetCars. My name is Alex and I'm coming to you from the future to let you know that I've bought Sam out of our 2015 P85D, and I'm proud to say that the car is all mine. So if you're new to the channel and you love EVs, I think you're really gonna enjoy some of my future content. But to everybody else, I'm selling my internal combustion engine vehicles. You see, right after I bought Sam out of this car, I made some new friends. I mean, these are people that eat organic food, and quite honestly, they are much better than all of us, and they've convinced me to sell all of my disgusting gasoline and diesel burning vehicles. And let me tell you, you do not want to mess with these people because they will shame you. I'm so sorry guys, but I'm totally kidding. I'm not getting rid of all of my cars, although some of them may come and some of them may go. I still have my gasoline and diesel burning vehicles. Here's the CDI waiting on injectors that are actually in the mail now, guys. So a video is coming on that. There's my wife's super old Escalade, almost 70,000 miles on that thing now. And then of course we have the E55. And right behind it, you can't see it, is my Corvette. And guys, I am going forward with the Eco Vet build. So I'm shooting for 40 miles per gallon without sacrificing anything on a V8 6-speed manual Corvette. And also, I have a new project in the garage. It is by far the weirdest car I've ever bought. And it is probably the weirdest car, no joke, that you guys will ever see a YouTuber buy. And it has a carburetor on it. But I'm not even revealing that video until we get done with some other projects. So I love Teslas, I love electric cars, but don't let anybody ever tell you that you can't have both. I am an equal opportunity car employer. So right now the Tesla is actually at the body shop getting the roof repaired. So I'm right in the middle of that video, so that'll be coming out soon. I hope you guys tune in for that. It's really cool what they're doing with it. But for now, let's check in with Alex from the past. And welcome to the past. So this is about 2 weeks prior than the intro that you just saw right now. And today is the day that I decided to become a Tesla owner. So I've been thinking about this for a couple of weeks, and Sam gave me first dibs on kind of buying this project out. We partnered up on this deal. So one of us has to either own this car or we have to sell it after we're done with it. And I have decided to keep it for myself. And I'm a little bit nervous, but I am a lot more excited about owning my dream car, one of my dream cars, a P85D. And if you guys don't know this, I drove a Chevy Volt for about 4 years, which I loved, but every Chevy Volt owner and every Leaf owner out there, their dream is to one day own one of these guys. So I'm finally there. This one needs still quite a bit of work, but I wanted to bring you guys back a couple weeks in time because we are in the thick of it right now. We're gonna actually be getting a lot done on this car in this video. So I kind of wanted to document this for you and show you how far we're gonna get, because this car is gonna look much more complete by the time we're done. So let me show you guys the condition of the car as it sits right now. Now, when it came off the trailer about a month ago, I didn't clean the car or do anything to it. So outside of the mechanical repairs that we already made in one of Sam's video by replacing the entire front subframe, the radiator, the condenser, and a bunch of other stuff, this car is basically exactly how we got it off the truck at the auction. So I haven't even cleaned the interior. They jammed the bumpers inside of here, so we literally have dirt inside of the car. This car ran off the side of the road, that's why it was totaled out, and they put these nasty bumpers inside, but luckily this very light colored interior did not get damaged at all, and this car does have the Alcantara headliner. No sunroof, and we still do have the roof damage, so I'll have to deal with that at some point as well. But currently, as you can tell, we don't have any of the bumpers on. Those were damaged in the accident, and that is what we're working on right now, the rear and the front bumper. And then I'm also working on the air conditioning. So I did get this car to fully charge at the supercharger station, but that was because it was a very cool day. The air conditioning has not been recharged ever since we replaced the damaged AC condenser, which is right in there. So in order to supercharge on a hot day and in order to have air conditioning in your car, you got to charge her back up. So right now we have our gauges on and we are pulling it down into a vacuum. It's been about roughly an hour or so. So we're at 30 inches of mercury. I'm just using a really cheap vacuum pump. And you guys can do this kind of stuff. You can do AC work at home with gauges and a pump as long as you're working on a system that's already been discharged. I have no way of recovering the refrigerant, but in this case, it unfortunately went into the atmosphere during the accident. So we're going to be recharging up the AC, and we have turned the LegitStreetCars garage into a makeshift paint booth. So Sam really wanted to paint these bumpers, and so that's what we're gonna do. So he's already primered the rear bumper, and this is the updated style rear bumper. We needed a new one anyway, so we got this for real cheap, like $100 or something. So it's already been sanded and primed, and I just strung up some twine there on the track to the garage door, so that way we can get all the way around this thing. Let me show you guys where we're at here with the front bumper. All right, so here we are with the front bumper. We went with the old style, the original style bumper, because we got this thing for like $100.
$100
so it's like
each, really good deal.
Yeah.
This one was in really good shape. I literally spot filled like 3 rock chips on it. The other one had a little bit more damage in one corner, and it was good enough to, our spot fill was good enough to repair that as well. So both of them really good shape. $100 for a bumper that's OEM is crazy, even if it's used. And as long as there's no major rips or tears. And as you can see, if you come up close here, I mean, this is the big stuff you need to look for when you're buying a bumper. Like, here are our tabs. These tabs get ripped off in accidents all the time. Here's the other right here, tab. Everything's in shape. Also, these tabs down here, careless people will go ahead and just like rip the grills out, rip these tabs out. All the tabs are in this bumper. So for $100, we got an awesome deal. It's just got a really quick rough coat of primer on it right now. Again, it didn't really need it, but I just like it. It's one added layer of safety when you're going and prepping bumpers, because if you screw up one thing, you start, well, usually 2 steps back. So this should be good. We're gonna clean it up one more time, scuff it up, get it in there for some paint. So while Sam works on the front bumper, at this point I want to check and make sure we don't have any leaks with the AC system. So we've pulled this down into a vacuum for about an hour. You have to do this to bake out any of the moisture in the system. And since our condenser was broken for so long, I'm going probably a little bit over an hour just to make sure. So right now we're at 30 inches of vacuum. That's as far as it will go. And what we're gonna do to check for leaks is we're simply gonna close off our line so it's not gonna be sucking the vacuum anymore. We'll shut off our pump, and right now the gauges are just hooked up to the car, and that's it. So we have gauges and car. I'm gonna come back in about 10 minutes and we're gonna make sure that this line right here hasn't moved at all, because what'll happen is if there's a leak and it's sucking in air, this will eventually go back to 0. All right, it's been about 20 minutes, so we're gonna check the gauges, make sure nothing's leaked out, but check out the new wheels that I'll be putting on this Tesla. These are the factory 21-inch turbine wheels. I got these from one of Rich Rebuild's many project cars. He actually owes me 2 of them. He sent out 2. But we're going to be replacing these base model 19-inch wheels. And I find this a little bizarre that they put these base 19s on a P85D. But then again, you might get a few more miles of range with these, but I don't really care. I'm going to get these powder coated a gloss graphite, and they are going to look fantastic. So let's take a look here. Let's hope there are no leaks, and we are good. That gauge has not moved at all, and it's been a solid 20 minutes. But oddly enough, on the day that we're fixing the air conditioning on this car, we got a new warning message in the cluster that I've never seen, and I fixed a bunch of different warning messages when I first got this. But check it out, air conditioning reduced, DC fast charge supercharging rate may be reduced. So that is the first time I've actually seen that warning, and it hasn't had AC for a long time. So whatever, we're gonna fix that right now by charging her back up, although I'm not really exactly sure how much Freon this takes. All right, so we need 1.77 pounds, which I think is 27 ounces. I gotta look that up on Google. But we're on can number 1. And then I have my scale down there. This gets a little bit difficult, but we'll have to measure out the last 3 ounces. These come in 12-ounce cans. So the first 2 cans are very easy. The last one, not so much. All right, the AC is fully charged up and ice cold, but let me tell you, these new R134 cans with this plastic cap self-sealing thing, total nightmare. I stripped it out. We lost a lot on the last one because I didn't need a full can, but geez. When you're twisting it on, it's like coming out. I've done this before on a million other cars now, and it's just like shooting into your hand. And you're like, oh, and it's, you don't want to do that. You're gonna get frostbite from this stuff.
I had my gloves on, but the scale came in handy just to get those last 3 ounces. So we're all set. 27 ounces. of refrigerant in this car. We have ice cold AC, no more warning light on anymore. But we do have a couple, let's see, front hood latch. I gotta mess around with the hood latch on there a little bit. Not that we couldn't do this before, but now we can use Ludicrous Plus. I don't know what this means. Oh, wait a minute. Come on, what do I do? Max battery power? Okay. Yeah, look at that. Ludicrous Plus mode. So we have the new bumpers almost ready to go. We did find a few pieces that we were missing, so I'll have to order those up. I have the Tesla T on order, this chrome thing on order. I didn't realize we're missing 2 parking sensors, but we are. And then the chrome trim on this side, as you can see right there, is missing. So whatever, we're still gonna put the front bumper on. We can put all that stuff on afterwards. The rear bumper is pretty much done, but we need the marker lights. But let me show you guys something. This is so messed up. I gotta say, this is just makes no sense on what Tesla was thinking, but take a look at this. There are 2 hood latch actuators. This is one of them here, and this is the other one. Now, if one of these breaks, which is very, very possible, they can just go bad, they're little electronic motors, or this can crack off like ours did. In order to replace these, you have to take like the whole front of the car off. Luckily, we already had the bumper off, but I just had to undo a bunch of work that we already did because the screws, I've got this top one out, as you can see in here where my finger is, see that? The screw goes in on this side and it's right up against this. This is pulled out right now. So you really cannot get to these screws. And they have, what's crazy is there's so much room to put the screws in from this side. So anyway, I fixed it. This was our broken one. We didn't realize it was broken. We put the front plastic core support back on, but I just went to the hardware store. I got some screws, put them in the right way, and then all we have are nuts on the back side. So if you guys ever have one of these actuators go out, quite honestly, I would drill these out instead of taking the entire front end off, and then do what I just did here, and you do have a little bit of room to put a little nut on this side. So kind of just a little weird Tesla design thing, but we found so many weird things. Like, for example, these are the 2 bolts that hold the inside part of the crash bar in. Look at how different they are for no reason. It's like they just grab stuff out of a bin and they might not match. So we've seen this a bunch of times. And then something else that's really interesting working on this car is just look at the poor quality of the welds. Look at all this splatter here, and we've seen this on the aluminum as well. So not really sure what's going on, but that does not look pretty. Next up, we installed the bumpers, and if you guys want to see how Sam painted these things in my garage in a very DIY, anybody can do this at home type of method, then I highly recommend you watch his video. But as you're going to see here in a minute, the color match wasn't exactly perfect, but I'm going to bat for my boy here because he did a great job painting, and it was so cool to see how cheap he did this all for. But even after bringing part of the old bumper to the paint shop to match, they still didn't get it right, and then he had to head home. But I think I may get this thing wrapped anyway, so let me know in the comments section what color I should go with. All right, we have the bumpers on. I just washed this car. We vacuumed it out. I got rid of all of the green marker from the auction. So this is looking like a real Tesla again. And guys, I am so excited to see this car the way that it is right now. And I'm very excited to know that I don't have to move this thing around every time I'm filming another video. I've had this car here for about a month and a half, and it's kind of just been a secret the whole time. So every time I film another video on one of my other cars, I've had to move this in and out with a broken control arm. It was a big pain in the butt. So now that this is revealed, you guys are gonna see this in a lot of my videos. So we still have a lot of work to do to the Tesla, or at least I have a lot of work to do to the Tesla. We obviously still have the roof damage, so I'm gonna be bringing that to my body shop, Mancuso's Auto Art, to have them take a look and see what they can do. And then we need the parking sensors in the front. We need that little chrome grille right there. And we got a new headlight. I installed it. It had one of 3 missing tabs. I didn't think that was a big deal, but one of the tabs that's broken goes in here, and I didn't realize it helps attach the bumper, so that's why we have a pretty bad gap here. And then also the alignment is so off. This car has adjustable camber, caster, and obviously toe. So when we did the front subframe, everything is out of whack. You can even see it from the outside on the wheels. So this thing doesn't really drive the straightest, but that doesn't matter because we are gonna take this thing out for a ride right now and test out the Ludicrous Plus mode. But just take a look, guys. This is a very cool sight to see for me. I've always wanted one of these cars, and now I have one.
I got to get on a flight in literally what, an hour?
Dude, if
You're
I
gonna
take
do
you
it right here?
if I take you in the airport with Ludicrous Plus on, it won't be an issue.
That's true.
Hey, look at that. Oh, a 60. I'd probably debadge that one.
That could be that dude. Oh, that's true. He did debadge. The one guy debadged his 60.
If any Tesla Model S is debadged, you know it's a 60.
I thought you said they made a 40.
They did, but like only a few of them sold. No one.
Okay.
You know, it was already an expensive car, so no one bought them, I guess.
Yeah.
But the 40 was actually a 60 kilowatt hour battery, just restricted with software.
Okay.
So you could actually, if you had buyer's remorse, you could actually pay them. At the time, it was like I think 10 grand.
Oh my god.
To get the other 20 released, through software.
Then they'll give you they'll release it, and then they'll give you. Does that include a new badge?
I hope so.
Jeez.
We need to get through that yellow light.
From the passenger side, it's like it is brutal. It's brutal.
Look at this 60. This Model S, the 60 behind me. I think he wants some. Oh, look at that. The Ricer flyby. Hang on, where to turn around. Ooh. All right.
Oh no.
Here we go. This is my first Ludicrous Plus. Here we go. Are you ready? Jeez. Okay, so we hit 60 a long time ago. That is nuts. How does it feel in the passenger seat?
No, it's insane. I mean, I was just driving it, but like in the passenger seat, your brain is in the back of your head.
It gives you that gut feeling from a roller coaster. That's exactly what it reminds me of, because like your senses aren't in tune with no noise, And like I've driven a lot of other faster cars, or like fast cars, I should say. This is no feeling like those other fast cars because the power is all obviously instant. I own a 9-second turbo Trans Am, so like I have a fast car. It's faster than this, but there's something about this car on the street right off the line from a dig that just, this will beat like 99% of the cars in real world situations, like on the road. This is
how quick can you get me to like the closest gas station though? I need something to. Oh, that was.
Yeah, right there.
Oh my God.
Don't puke, all right? Geez. I just vacuumed this thing out.
We rebuilt it, but then I threw up in it, and so now it's got this odor that...
I think we're having a medical...
Woo.
Okay, all right, I'll stop. We'll go here. Let's see what chill mode is like.
Yeah, chill mode.
Is chill mode better? All right, let's put it in comfort.
Mode.
Oh, no, wait. Ooh, comfort steering. Wow, that's nice.
Oh, yeah. What does it do? Like really loosen up the steering wheel? It really
loosens it up. Hold on. Suspension. What are we in? Oh, let's go
standard.
Let's go to maybe let's go to standard. Yeah, let's keep it. All right, so it obviously feels amazing that we're driving this car and that it looks like a real car. I'm really excited. I still have quite a bit to do. We have to take care of the roof, but overall, this rebuild process was not that bad. I mean, hours-wise, with all the stuff we did in the front end, that was like, I don't know, 6-8 hours, something like that. And it's just a lot of little parts right now, but this was a pretty unique find at the auction. I mean, I got to give it to you. You did a good job of finding this car. Yeah, I like weird stuff like this that gets totaled out for, again, weird purposes. The roof, if it would have said roof damage, like straight up in the listing, which it didn't, I would have probably said, we can't see the roof. Yeah. It could just be a disaster. Water could be leaking in. But this was a good gamble and one that paid off, in my opinion. Definitely. This was a great deal. You're not going to get a Toyota Camry that has this much technology, this much performance, and this much cool factor. You're not going to get a car with this much technology, performance, cool factor for the price. I mean, we're in this less than a loaded Toyota Camry. Yeah, totally. And it's well less than a loaded Camry. And it only has 41,000 miles. The interior, other than being dirty, is in really good condition. Even though the bumpers were jammed in here, I was kind of afraid of, but it didn't scratch up really anything except a little bit on the steering wheel. So, so we have a little bit more work to do on the car. At least I do now that I'm kind of taking over this project. But we're gonna. You already said it. No taking it back. Okay, all right. So I have a lot to learn, which is what I'm really excited for with this car. Because if you guys tune into my channel, I'm always working on Mercedes that I'm very, very familiar with. This is the first time I've ever worked on a Tesla. I know it's the first time you've ever worked on a Tesla. I think we did pretty decent so far. But my goal with this car is I'm going to drive this. This is going to be a daily driver. I'm going to let my wife drive it. We're going to put some miles on it. And I'm going to try and fix things as they break, if they break. And hopefully I can kind of convey that to everybody out there that you can work on one of these cars at home. So we're going to be learning a lot together on this Tesla project. And I think I'm gonna get it wrapped.
Yeah, you should get it wrapped, definitely.
I think I'm gonna get it wrapped. I think that'd look really cool, especially with those 21-inch turbine wheels.
Yeah, I like I like silver cars, but this silver is it's all right.
It's pretty bland. There's not a lot of metallic flake in it, but
yeah.
it stays clean. I'll give it that. But anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope you guys really like this new car. This is a dream of mine for sure. And just overall, I'm ecstatic that I'm driving my own Tesla. Well, actually, I still have to pay you out your half, but we'll work out those little details later.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Thanks. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Share the video, like the video, subscribe. What other YouTube stuff do we have to say?
They got a comment. Tell us what you think about. Yes. I think you should leave the roof damage. It'd be like a 101 Tesla with roof damage.
Or I'll just cut it off.
Yeah, you could do that too.
All right, guys. Have a good one. I'll catch you all in the next video.